Welcome to Seeing Dead People, the mystery storytelling podcast with a clairvoyant twist. We end every episode with Darcy answering a question from a listener about her psychic process. And I asked you, given the fact that you see numerous spirits and individuals kind of popping in and out, I wanted to know if those spirits can see each other.
My answer to that is yes. Spirit can see each other. They're not immune. It doesn't mean they're going to hang out with each other, but they can see each other.
Do they have any sense of ability to communicate with each other and to know what's gone on or going on?
I believe personally that spirit can talk just the same as we can.
Oh, really?
And that they can talk and have a discussion the same way we can. Slightly different, maybe. Stuck in their time, because they can't move on from the time they die, except they can alter the way they look.
Right.
But there is an opportunity for them to commune with each other.
So do you think then, if we can expand on that a little bit, that let's say somebody who died in 1870 happens to have their memorial against, right next door to a family who's recently buried someone in 1950. Could the 1950 and the 1870 individuals understand one another?
Absolutely. English is English, and they speak a different language. The one thing I have learned from spirit is when they die, I have a lot of East Indian customers, okay? And their parents and their grandparents all speak Sikh, Hindu, Punjabi.
Right.
And when my people speak to them, they can understand and therefore translate for me. So it's like I can understand different languages even now, even though I don't speak them. I have a general idea of what's being said. And I think the same thing applies for spirit.
Okay. And you always use the term spirit, I think, as singular, but do you mean it as a plural? In other words, you wouldn't say spirits, you would just mean spirit is plural, like we say sheep and sheep?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because once you die, it's a collective spirit energy. You go into the fold. Oh, there we go, back to God. Into the fold. And everyone becomes one voice.
But they aren't one voice. They're out there by themselves talking to you individually or talking to each other individually.
But they're still one voice, because that way they can hear each other and understand each other.
When you say that one voice, you mean that's like a single communication thread or something?
Yeah, I guess that's the way to describe it, because it's like they're telling me it's one voice. So it's like if I was dead talking to you and you talk to the person behind you and the person behind you, it's all one voice.
Okay.
Because that conscious thought that I started with goes all the way through. It's like being around the campfire and you start a story. The difference is by the time it comes back to me, that story's still the same in spirit.
Okay, so they're accurate. But does everything that every spirit thinks and says go through every spirit? It's like the Borg from Star Trek?
I don't know that one. So I'm not a Star Trek fan. So I would... Yeah, because they all know, like it's different. Like here, you have to pry the information out of people to get in life. But in spirit, you don't have to pry the information, because my thought is their thought.
Okay, well, in the Star Trek idea is that the Borg is one mindset, a group of, I think in Star Trek was slaves, but anyway, they're all one thing. They're called the Borg. It's one single mind, tons and tons and tons of people, but one single mind, one single entity, kind of in thought processes and in actions. Is that the sort of thing?
I would have to say the same thing.
Oh, cool.
They still occasionally have their own actions, but when it comes time for the discussion of life, it's one thought.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, well then, thanks.
This has been a program of Radio Sydney.